Mr. Brown wasn't too happy, but no, done the deal in the bar after, as you do at that sort of level, and yeah, that's how it started.
Welcome, John.
Welcome, thank you.
How are you? How's things going?
All good, no complaints on my end, yeah.
Fantastic. As you can see behind us, there's a few bits of memorabilia throughout your career, which we'll be heading to shortly.
Yeah.
But first off, I want to talk about your arrival to the Dons in November 2007, just after you scored against us. Talk about that. How did the move come around?
Well, yeah, all right. I was at, obviously, Tunbridge, and the manager, Tony Dolby, got sacked, and the new manager came in, Tommy Warlow. But after a week that had happened, Tony Dolby rang me up and said, look, Wimbledon are interested. If I was you, I'd go. So I had a good heads up that they was coming in for me. And so I approached Tunbridge and said, look, I know they've come in for me. What's going on? And the deal was I wasn't allowed to speak to Wimbledon until we played them on the Tuesday night.
And gave them a good show, because you.
And yeah, I think we drew 2-2 and I did score. Mr. Brown wasn't too happy, but no, done the deal in the bar after, as you do at that sort of level, and yeah, that's how it started.
How much did you know about Wimbledon before you joined us? Did you know much about the history, or?
I obviously knew about Wimbledon,
yeah,
of course, especially being a Liverpool fan after breaking my heart a certain year of Laurie Sanchez.
Yeah, 1988, I think it was.
I think it was. And even when AFC Wimbledon formed and the trials was up on the Common, my dad actually said to me, if I was you, go and do these trials. I obviously never did, but it's something I always remember. So I did have a little inkling on them, but I didn't realise what was about to happen. Joining Wimbledon, I could see their potential. Don't forget, when I first started training, there was like a diesel-powered floodlit for trainings and stuff. So I actually saw it transform from semi-pro to pro. But yeah, I mean, I've just loved it. Yeah.
Well, I think you were loved as well during your time here, because I said in the intro, you scored quite a few goals. And two of those goals I want to talk about against Hornchurch, as he went on the way to finally get out of the Ryman League. You rinsed those two defenders to put it through, and obviously you had Finney on the right screaming, but I think your eyes were always on goal.
I didn't hear him, man. I did not hear him. No, what night? I was frustrated because I got injured. I was just dead keen to get back. I knew I could. If I played, I could score. That's how I felt back then. But yeah, it just felt right. But right at the end of that game, it was perfect.
We're gonna jump into some shirts now, and I think we'll start on this white one, because this white one for me is you through and through. Yeah. And it might have been because I was quite a big fan when I was younger. But talk to you about this shirt. It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. So me personally, I've always sort of loved white boots, and then when this white kit come along, I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. And there we go, back to the Newport County game, first game of the season, where it was in the Conference South. I thought, I've stepped up a level, I better play well. So luckily I did play well and grabbed myself a little hat trick. Yeah, one of we'll touch on hat tricks later, because you know when you get a match ball. So we'll have a look at one of those in a bit. In the 2008 and 9 season, obviously we won the league. You smashed goals in. Must have been dreamland. Do you think that was your best season as a player? Yeah, I think so. I felt good that year, and I felt like we had a good team. I just loved it, and what Brownie was doing, everyone just went with him, sort of thing. Obviously, the arrival of Keds a little way into the season helped massively with us, and the rest is history with that season. You mentioned Danny Kedwell there, your partner in crime. Yeah. How good was that to play alongside him and form that real strike partnership? It was a big relief. I knew how good he was. I didn't know. Actually, I knew he was good. I didn't know how good he was. I mean, he was something else. He made everyone step up another level, and I reckon that timing of signing him was just perfect. And you guys still keep in touch, I assume? We sure do, yeah. I'm sure a few beers as well. He's still playing, of course, and managing? He's just signed a new club, isn't he? Yeah. So good to see him still in the game. Yeah. And then I want to talk about this shirt later, but
This yellow and blue, again, a lovely design, and not one that is such a sort of EFL like 2010 shirt, isn't it? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember having, I think I probably did have an XL in this when I played. It was, I remember thinking, oh, this is quite big, but I love the design of this shirt as well. Yeah, I don't remember scoring too many goals in this shirt, I must admit.
When you look on Google, there's a lot of pictures of you in this one. And then there's obviously that infamous cup final win in that one.
So I don't remember scoring too many goals in this shirt, but
it is a lovely shirt nonetheless. This shirt now, as I've already mentioned, talk to me about it. It just is. It is Jon Main at Wimbledon, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so too. That's my favourite. I love playing at home. So there you go. Look at that.
Superb. And there's a video. I've been doing my research before this, and it's called the Jon Main Collection. The club have created on YouTube, and that is. There's some goals in this that are just phenomenal at Kingsmeadow. Kingsmeadow, talk to me about that as a ground, because obviously, I think it got, from away fans, it didn't get the best reputation, but it was a nasty little ground to come to, wasn't it?
I always felt so confident playing at Kingsmeadow. The trouble is being with Wimbledon in them lower levels is every club that turned up, it was their cup final against us because of the crowd. So you know you was in for a game every time you played there, and the crowd always helped, and I just absolutely loved it there.
33 goals in the 2008-9 season. How confident were you going into games? You know, you must have gone in thinking, well, I'm getting another hatful today.
Honestly, at that, as I say, at that time of my career, I felt like I could score in any league, to be honest. Yeah, and I did.
You did. Boy, you did. 20 goals the following season. This shirt was just so special for so many of our fans, and synonymous with you scoring a silly amount of goals. What emotions does it bring back when you see this? Do
you know what? I ain't seen that shirt for a while like that, and it does. It just takes you back to that very moment, and it's so good to see. And yeah, I'm so proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to jump into some medals now, which you've kindly brought in. Let's have a quick walk down here, along obviously the home dressing room here at Wimbledon. Blue Square Bet South.
Yes.
Take it off and have a proper look at it. Talk to me about your memories of do you know what? I look back on Blue Square Bet was quite an iconic sponsor for Wimbledon, wasn't it?
It was. It was well known. As I say, it was my step up into this level. I was thriving. I couldn't wait to get started. I was confident that I would still score. I must admit, I won't lie. I'm not big-headed or what, but I really was. And I wasn't sure I would get on in the league until the opening day of the season, when we stuffed Newport, and then I thought, right, yeah, we can have a good go at this.
This is where it started, isn't it? Because obviously, I think the success to have throughout a whole season is quite a long and grueling task. How was that when you finally, when we were announced as champions? How did that make you feel?
You can't beat winning the leagues at all. It was such a good feeling, relief. I mean, it still sort of went down to the wire a bit last couple of games, didn't it? But yeah, well, I mean, what a season that was.
And then obviously you got out of the division a couple of times, so you've got 2 medals. They must look quite good at home. Where are they kept?
In my man cave. I built a man cave just for these trophies.
All of them. There's too many to bring with you.
Yeah, so that one I won with Welling United a few years later. I didn't play as much or score as many goals, but I was a part of it.
Part of that squad, yeah. And then this one here, Blue Square Bet Premier.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Mixed emotions, because I was loaned out.
Yeah.
And in January I knew that I weren't going to get a new deal, so it was all fine. But I remember being on loan to like Dover or Dartford, and I just had a real good feeling that Wimbledon was going to win.
Yeah.
And I rang Brownie up and I said, look, I just want to come back, end my loan. Like, I want to be with the boys if that's all right. And he said, yeah, of course. And so I actually come back to train with them for a few days, and then we all travelled up to Manchester. And
wow. And we spoke to obviously Seb in the last episode, and he said that went up a couple of days early. What was it like going to what is now the Etihad, but was known obviously, of course, the City of Manchester Stadium?
I mean, even though I didn't play, I weren't part. I just loved it. I loved every minute of it. Brownie did keep me down the other end of the hotel, a few floors below, because he just did say, just look, enjoy yourself, have a few beers, but keep away from the lads. So
don't encourage anyone to have any bad
no
prep.
problem. No, honestly, it was all professionally done. Yeah, what a day that was, eh?
Yeah. I was saying to Seb in the last episode, I wasn't at the Etihad. I was at my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary, so that was
okay.
an incredible coincidence of dates, and I'm sure my dad was heartbroken. He'll be watching this, potentially agreeing. We then, obviously, you left after this season. You headed to sort of back to Tunbridge Angels, a team that you'd seen quite a lot of success with before. Obviously, you scored quite a lot of goals for them as well.
Yeah, so I'm quite liked down there as well. Well, I used to be, but to be honest with you, I'd struggled after leaving here.
Yeah.
My body was slowly giving up, and when you leave a club that's singing 4,000, 5,000 people singing your name every week, I found it hard to keep the motivation. And I did try down at Tunbridge, but just injuries held me back, and it was like the beginning of the end, really.
Yeah. And just something you mentioned there, the 4,000 or 5,000 fans singing your name. How special is that, especially in sort of Blue Square Bet South, which is obviously National League South now and the National League?
Well, it's unreal. I try and tell my daughter, but she don't believe it at the minute. As I say, I hit Wimbledon as in a perfect timing where they needed someone to score goals, and it just sort of just went like that, and it was so special. Absolutely,
it was absolutely special for about an 8-year-old Tom Large as well, because I think I probably had a restraining order on you at one point, because every match day programme is Jon Main, no one else, just Jon Main. Obviously, we went back up at the Football Manager 20th year anniversary event. Obviously, Sports Interactive have donned our shirts since day one.
Yep.
What was it like seeing old faces and seeing all those shirts back in together?
Loved it. I mean, what a great night. I mean, we should do that every week. These shirts are special, right from the start to now, and no one can deny that.
Was it nice seeing members of sort of the old guard as well? Obviously, Mickey Haswell, Terry Brown.
Of course,
great to see them.
Of course. We normally meet up once every Christmas, so we still keep in touch and talk about what we done and what we didn't do and that. But that's just how special this club is. That just sort of carries on.
Absolutely. And during those days, who would you say? Obviously, Danny Keb was the obvious answer, but who was sort of your group apart from that, like on away days? Who would you stay with, that sort of thing?
We had the Kent crew.
Yeah.
So it was me, Keds, Luke Moore, Sammy Moore, Lee Minchell. That was like us really, and so we'd all sort of stick together, play a bit of golf and that. It was a good little squad.
And is it nice to have people that come from the same area to meet up, obviously? Because obviously a lot of the games then, National League South is regionalised still, isn't it? So it's a lot of games near home, especially when we were, before your time, when we were lower down, the games were all like round the corner. Everyone could go to every home and away. It was lovely. Now we're travelling up to Carlisle.
Of course.
What was that like, obviously, playing in the southern? Does that make it easier?
Yeah, because you travel with your pals every week. It's nice. The one thing I did say was when I went on loan to Dover, I travelled down there on my own, and it was like quite a long way, and I was thinking, what have I done here? So you sort of don't realise what you got until it's gone.
Because I do look back on those shirts, and they really were like really glory days for the club. I think Kingsman had like a special light to it almost. I think when you've got two strikers banging in goals, you've got a top quality squad. It does makes life a little bit more rose tinted, doesn't it?
It sort of does, yeah.
I've held one shirt back, and Spike there's got it behind the camera. Throw it, and I catch that beautifully. And you have to indulge me as this one does hold slightly more significance for me than it does for anyone else. This is my shirt, my actual shirt from when I was, well, not this size anymore, and it's signed by yourself, and goes back to that point earlier when I said that you probably have signed every single item of clothing from that year, and probably I think I've got some horrendous photos of me as a child, and I want to end on one point because I used to fight your corner in my primary school playground. Your name was in the conversation with Drogba, Rooney. I was not having anyone ever dare say you were not the best striker across the whole world, even if I am a tad biased. However, we will leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me today, Jon. It's been a real honour.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.